Hi again. So now we're back into NiFi and we've created a simple flow. Before we move on and start doing more complicated things and try to understand really what's going on, I think now is a good time to try to see what the UI of NiFi is, how it looks like, because there's a lot of things happening in that little window. So let's start by the top left. The top left is going to be all the way to add stuff to your flow in your grid in the middle. So as we saw, the top left is processor, but also input port, output port, a process group, remote process group, funnels, templates, and labels. We will go over those, I promise. Right now, the most important thing you need to know is processor. Again, don't forget, you click on it, you drag, and you drop. And then you can look at the 188 processors that are currently available to you. The line below is a bunch of statistics about your flow, informations. So right now, the 0 right here says there's 0 threads, nothing's happening. And indeed, nothing's happening because I haven't created any file. 0 out of 0 bytes is basically statistics about how much data is going in and out of your system. Again, because right now nothing's happening, we have nothing. But let's just, again, for the sake of explanation, if we go to the source folder and let's just write a bit of data. Hi again, hello world. We're going to see what's going on. We refresh it. And here we go. So we have some bytes. Here, in all these information right here, it says how many processors are running. That's the green triangle. How many processors are stopped? 0. But if I stop this one and refresh it, it shows stopped. How many processors are in a warning state? So if I create a processor, just a random one right here, you will see it says 1 warning. And this is how many services are running. Currently, you don't need to know about that too much. That's the time of your system. And you can do a bit of search in here for whatever you want. Here's an example. I said pick. It says pick up from source folder. As you can see, basically any text you write will be searchable. It's quite nice when you start having a huge flow. Let's just delete that one for now. By the way, to delete, just press delete. The navigate on the left hand side right here is for you to zoom out, zoom in, center, or frame. So it's just a nice way to navigate. I usually prefer zooming in, zooming out, and then click and drag, but whatever you feel most comfortable with. On the left hand side, you have a menu which allows you to run operations on your processor directly without doing a right click. So again, you can start the processor or you could stop it. You could find its configuration right here and run some operation like copy and pasting or saving as a template. We'll see how to do this later. Finally, you can do a fill color if you really like to. For example, red. Here we go. Now we have color coding. It's actually quite useful when you start having a lot of processor to organize them. For the sake of it right now, I'll keep it white. That's here is your main UI. Okay, that's where you organize your processor, drag and drop everything, and there's heaps you can do. If you like it left to right, just like here, perfect, keep it this way. But some people like it top to bottom. And so easy, you just click on it and click and drag, and you can place it anywhere you want on the screen. The connection will just follow. So say you have it like this, up and down, for whatever reason, but you still wanted that vignette right here to be extended to the right. You could double click it. It will create a yellow anchor point, and you can just place it this way. You can just click and drag the anchor point to wherever you want. This way you can start having some quite dense flow. Another thing. Now we can look at what's going on at the processor level. So in is how many flow files have been in that processor. Right now, because this one is an initiator, it will always have an in of 0, as you can see, nothing goes in. But it will go as an out, because it creates flow files. Okay? The number of tasks right here is the number of times that it will do something. over a 5-minute period. So right now it says 84, meaning get file always checks the file system. It asks the file system, hey, do you have any files? Hey, do you have any files? Hey, do you have any files? Periodically. And so that's why you have some tasks happening. So tasks and time just means the processor is doing something, but as long as there's no outflow file, you don't need to worry about anything. It just does what it's supposed to do, asking the file system if there are any files available. Similarly, the put file processor has an in of 1 because it did take something in, but an out of 0 because once that flow file was written to disk, nothing happened to it. There is no outgoing connection. So that's why it says 0. And actually for this one, it just says task of 1. Why? It's because easily the tasks are only triggered when there is something in the queue. If there's nothing in the queue, it knows it shouldn't do anything. Okay? And finally, here your connection. It just says queued 0, which means there are 0 flow files in the queue. But again, let's remember, if I stop the second one and start the first one, and then quickly write something, now we have queue of 1, 9 bytes. And we can do this over and over again, very, very quickly. And as we can see, now we have 4, and so on. So we actually only have 4 because I'm going too quickly for NiFi, because I'm using the same file name, but whatever. Here we have 6, and so on. So that's something really, really cool. We'll see more perks. Oh, right here, there's a 1 here, meaning 1 thread is active on that processor. We'll go into the details of what that means a little bit later. Finally, you maybe have seen here, it says always 0 out of 0. Those are actually real-time statistics. So if nothing's happening in real time, you won't see anything. When we have some more dense and consistent flows, we'll start seeing some statistics right here. So the NiFi UI is quite complete. There are more options in that menu, and I invite you to start using it. We will go over it anyway, but not in this first draft. I think right now that's enough to understand how NiFi works, how to create processors, how to interpret the statistics right here, what they mean, and get started. In the next section, we'll be reviewing some more advanced topics, more advanced configuration, and start really understanding how we can use NiFi to its full potential.